is going on, my YouTube people? 29 United back here with another video, and in today's video we're going to be previewing and giving our reactions on the Qatar 2023 AFC Asian Cup. I'm joined by my wonderful friend here, Erfan. How are you doing, my friend?
Hello, Arya. Thanks for having me again. Very happy to be here. I'm doing well, thanks. How about you?
I'm doing very well. Now, this video won't really be a prediction video of that sort. We're just going to be previewing the groups, giving our thoughts, because it is a very interesting draw, to say the least. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to smash that subscribe button, like the video, join all my socials as well, my TikTok, Discord, Instagram. All those links will be down in the description for you guys to check out as well as for my friend Erfan. All of his socials will be down in the description for you guys to check out. And yeah, let's get started. Alright, so for Group A, we've got Qatar, China, Tajikistan, and Lebanon.
We have Qatar and China first. Now, Qatar obviously the hosts now, and China the host before they withdrew due to COVID. And now Qatar, after their World Cup failure, you could say, they want to kind of bounce back with their new coach Carlos Queiroz. And China, on the other hand, they invested into football a lot over the past decade or so, and well, they have improved, but I don't think it's the level they wanted to reach so far. Tajikistan, a very good developing side in Central Asian football. I expect them to be one of the underdogs of this tournament, maybe even making the knockout stage as one of the best third place teams. And then Lebanon as well. Obviously, they made the final round of the qualifiers for AFC. They had a few good performances here and there. I mean, they almost actually got into the playoffs, and they were in contention until the last few match days. And they're a team to look out for, but I don't see them really being a threat to the bigger sides in this tournament.
With that being said, we're going to move on to Group B, which is a very interesting group between Australia, Uzbekistan, Syria, and India. Now, I think we all know the favorites in this group is probably going to be Australia, but I feel like Uzbekistan can really give Australia a run for their money as well as Syria. We've seen in the past decade or so, I think they've been very good, and they were actually very close to qualifying to the playoffs for the 2018 World Cup a few years ago. But Syria are a squad that I think do have what it takes to definitely go through the next round. Uzbekistan and Australia will probably be the favorites to go on, and then we've got India at the end, which, if I was an Indian football fan, obviously I don't think it's going to be very possible for them to reach it. There might be a slight chance, but I would definitely aim for, at least trying to make it to the next stage. I think if that happens, it's already a success, and then whatever happens after that happens.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Arya. I mean, India, they have had slight improvements over the past few years. We saw now they have an AFC Champions League slot, a group stage slot every year, with Mumbai City Cup qualifying for the second year in a row this year. I don't think they're going to make it out of this group. Like you said, it's just not enough what they're doing. And then Uzbekistan, I think they're also a shout. Maybe they could push Australia for that first place spot. They actually played two South American sides over the last international camp. They beat Bolivia, and then they drew Venezuela, which is very good actually for a side like Uzbekistan. They're definitely one to watch out for. And then Australia, the winners of 2015, they had a disappointing campaign last time out, of getting knocked out of the quarterfinals. But they did very well in the World Cup this year, losing narrowly to Argentina. So they have the quality. It's there, it's definitely there. It's just whether they show up or not. And then Syria and Australia, they're very familiar with each other. This is the second Asian Cup that they're facing each other in a row. Last time out, it was very disappointing for Syria. They finished bottom of their group after a very impressive World Cup qualifier campaign. So they're trying to get back on their feet after that.
Now we're going to go on to Group C, which is Iran's group, and they are paired alongside the UAE, Hong Kong, and Palestine. There's not much really to say, even as an Iranian football fan. I mean, all we really have to do is pray that the manager, Amir Ghalenoui, doesn't mess up. But other than that, this should be a easy 9-pointer for Iran. The only team that can really cause trouble, in my opinion, would be the UAE. We've seen Iran struggle a little bit against them in the World Cup qualifiers, but that was under Dragan Skocic, which is a completely different universe. But as for Hong Kong and Palestine, I just don't see them challenge Iran at all. So that's pretty much all I have to say for this group. There isn't really anything else to add.
Palestine are not a very good side, but they're decent. I mean, last time they played Iran, they actually got a draw. It was in 2018 before the Asian Cup. They played a friendly. I think it was in Qatar. So they got a 1-1 draw with Iran. So you can't count them out yet. But I think the clear favorites for this group are Iran and UAE.
As for Group D here, which is, in my opinion, probably the most interesting group in this whole draw. We've got Japan, Indonesia, Iraq, and Vietnam. Now, on paper, the clear favorites are obviously Japan. I think they're the favorites to win the whole thing, to be honest. We've seen Vietnam and Japan play before, and as someone who's watched both games, Japan struggled with Vietnam. They did. In one of those games, they actually drew 1-1. And another one of those games, it was only a 1-0 narrow win from Japan. So everyone will probably say Japan are the clear favorites here, which I think they are. But I wouldn't necessarily rule out Vietnam and Iraq out. I think those two teams can cause trouble. As for Indonesia, however, I just don't think they have what it takes to even compete with the likes of Vietnam and Iraq.
Yeah, I agree with you. Indonesia, they're back in the tournament after 2007, the year which Iraq actually won it. They were one of the co-hosts that year. So it's been a while for them. And I agree with you. I don't think they're really going to do much. It's probably going to be a fourth place finish for them. Vietnam, one of the developing sides in Asia. They've been improving a lot over the past few years. They made the final round of the qualifiers the past year, so that's very good for them. And then Japan, the first ranked team in Asia, had a very, very good World Cup, narrowly lost to bronze medalist Croatia. They should be easily top in this group. Maybe, like you said, the only team that could challenge them is Iraq. Iraq also, I think they should be getting out of this group with their new coach, Jesus. Jesus. I think they should be getting out of this group. They won the Gulf Cup recently, so at home, so it's kind of confidence boost for them.
Next up, we've got, in my opinion, the most boring group out there: Korea, Malaysia, Jordan, and Bahrain. I am fully expecting Korea to smash all three of these teams, with no disrespect. I think it is a battle for second and third for any one of these teams. I think Malaysia, Jordan, and Bahrain definitely have what it takes to battle it out for the second and third spot. So it's really between each of them. But again, for Korea, fully expecting them to be first and just absolutely smashing these three teams up. We're just going to have to wait and see. The only way I can see Korea not doing well is by miracle if they're hit by a lot of injuries or something goes very wrong for them. But their new manager, Jurgen Klinsmann, is one that not a lot of people are fans of. So potentially he might mess up some things. But again, I'll be very surprised if they don't end up going out of this group. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. With no offense to the other teams, obviously, but South Korea should easily top this group, getting all 9 points. Dare I say, not even consider a single goal. Malaysia, this is their first Asian Cup they've qualified for since 1980. They did play in the 2007 one, but they were one of the co-hosts for that tournament, so they qualified automatically. And then Jordan and Bahrain, they're always there at the Asian Cups. Jordan had a very good, actually, an above-average Asian Cup last time. They beat Australia, and they topped their group, and they narrowly lost to Vietnam on penalties in the round of 16. They will hope to better that performance, maybe get to the quarterfinals. I don't see them getting past that. Bahrain and Malaysia, on the other hand, maybe I think they'll finish third and fourth. And Malaysia fourth, I'm sorry to say to the Malaysian fans, but I think they'll finish bottom of the group. And Bahrain, I think, will get through as one of the better third place teams, maybe.
Last but not least, we've got Group F, which is Saudi Arabia and Thailand, Kyrgyzstan, and Oman. And Oman is a team that we've seen have been able to surprise some of the bigger sides. So perhaps they can upset Saudi Arabia. We're going to have to wait and see. Thailand, one of the developing countries in Asia, I think they also have potential to even challenge for this first place. And then Kyrgyzstan, frankly, do not think they will be able to challenge either of Saudi Arabia, Thailand, maybe Oman, but we're just going to have to wait and see. What do you think, Erfan?
Kyrgyzstan, they've recently departed with head coach Alexander Krestinen, who had been in charge of them for almost a decade. He helped improve their football a lot, getting to their first Asian Cup after a while back in 2019. And they actually got to round of 16 in that year, but I'm still saying this. I think they got robbed versus the host that year. I think they should have gotten to the quarterfinals. They lost versus the UAE that year. And then the other teams in the group, we have Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia are a very good side. We saw it in the World Cup. I'd still say that year that World Cup was a failure for them. They beat Argentina, but they really should have done better against the two other teams. They currently do not have a head coach. They'll be looking for big names over the next month or so. And Thailand, another Southeast Asian side, they had been playing well, especially during the 2018 World Cup qualification cycle. But I think they have regressed a bit since then. And then Oman, we saw their quality in the last World Cup qualifiers. They started off very, very well. They even beat Japan, actually. But sadly for them, they did get a bit worse throughout the qualifiers. I think Oman, though, will maybe push Saudi Arabia for that top spot.
Yeah, and I want to come back to that coaching situation for Saudi Arabia. They absolutely must get it right, because they end up getting a manager last minute and such, which I don't think will be the case. That might also affect how they play in this tournament. We're just going to have to wait and see. That's going to be the end for today's video. I want to thank Erfan once again for joining today's video. Thank you so much. All of his social links will be down in the description for you guys to check out, as well as mine. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, like the video as well. It helps the channel a ton. Erfan, is there anything else you want to say?
No, that's it. Thank you again, Arya, for having me on. It's been a pleasure. Yeah, see you guys later.
I'll see you guys in the next one.
Damn, I'm on red alert. Else you went up in